What's up with y'all chosen ones? It's your boy Eugene, and I hope all is well with you, man. I hope y'all staying safe, protecting your mind, keeping sure that clarity is locked in, y'all. That's your biggest weapon. Your weapon is the way you use your mind, y'all. They say mind over matter, right? Yeah, you are matter, walking with it, but your mind's in control of everything. So that's why you must have control over your fucking mind. If you want control or dominion over everything around you, yo, you gotta be one step aware, not aware or ahead of others, but ahead of what you see in your mind, so you can, repel things that are meant to destroy you, or bring in new things that are to help you come forward. But what I want to talk about today, y'all, is let's just say, yo, that as we are getting closer and closer to the afterlife, yo, we are walking into the afterlife. You may ask yourself, what is the afterlife? It is the opposite of what they call living. They say that living is you live to 100 years and you die at about 60 or 70 minimum, right? Well, how we are living, yo, is defined by energy and frequency. We were forced to die so young or to live so, harsh because we weren't operating on the right frequency, family. Let me make that clear, yo. We were all living in a state of negativity, yo. Negativity, it don't survive, it lingers. It swells, It can control you, yo, but it's not something that is organic to this realm. That's why you're never supposed to act out of negativity, yo, because the more you do that, the more you will attract that. And that's all you will see in your fucking reality. That's what it is important to think with the sharpest mind you can, handle, yo. But what I want to tell y'all is that as we enter this stage or period in time, yo, we are walking into it now. That's why, every summer is getting hotter. A lot more shit is happening that's causing the world to go into a state of chaos. That's, the world cleansing before the dawn of a new era arises. So all that means, chosen family, is that you are no longer judged by what you don't have anymore. You know how in this world right now, presently, as we speak, yo, people will judge you off of what you have and what you don't have. Let's say you live outside and you homeless. People are gonna be like, who the fuck is that broke motherfucker right there? Or who is that? He got no hustle, he got no motion. He's empty. They might just look at you or criticize you, right? Or say, you too rich. They gonna be like, who are you? You big balling. You doing too much. You're living in the matrix way too much. People are gonna hate on you regardless, whether you are broke, whether you are poor, whether you are skinny, or whether you are fucking fat, y'all. I'm not here to, compare and contrast, but I'm here to give y'all, my perspective on this reality, because the way I came up, y'all, was harsh, y'all. People, they respected me, but they held a grudge or they had envy towards me, because I guess they seen that I was somebody that, doesn't like to submit, y'all. I don't ever submit, y'all, because I'm a warrior. I believe in myself. I fight for what is mine, and I fight for what I truly believe in. That's why I don't get tired of making these videos, and that's why whenever I make these videos, I have a purpose behind every video. But this is true, family. The shit I just talked to y'all about right now, is that how y'all are being looked at or down upon, whether you live right now, depending on where you are at vibrationally on your spiritual enlightenment and the people that come in contact with you. The ones who live on this surface area type of world, they gonna judge you off of the fantasy shit that they want. They might judge you off of you being broke, or they might judge you for being too rich for them. But all that shit is an illusion, yo. Get that shit straight, yo. All that shit is just to mind fuck your brain, to make you think you gotta compare or compete with the world, yo. But a real king or a real queen knows one thing, that all they have for their existence to be something that is power is purity, yo. You have purity. Purity means that you are pure in a world where there's nothing but chaos. It is what it is, yo. That's the only way I can explain to y'all that as we enter the new state of living, yo, the 5D world. It's not 5D mentally, it's 5D physically as well. That's why people are getting back in harmony. They're getting in sync with each other. They're starting to grow their own shit instead of eating at the fucking store. Because they don't want to be fed like a fucking animal. They want to create and grow their own shit and feel like they're reaping what they have, sold, yo. But, as we are entering these stages of another world, another timeline, or if you want to say the afterlife, all it means is that you are now entering a stage of living after the dawn of chaos, man. You know, they told us that living was something that we're supposed to live temporarily and not live right. Always live with problems, always create suffering, always live with hell. That's why you didn't ever live long, because that energy you were surrounded by was fucking small and too dense for you. You know, you live off of light. You are light. I told you that, family. We have light. So your body thrives off of light, yo. Whether it's sunlight, whether it's the internal light, which is your engine that you must keep safe and not compromised, or just, you know, consuming, you know, light foods, which are fruits. You know, I'm not gonna really talk about vegetables like that, yo, cause I'm picky as hell. You know, that's one thing about me, yo. I'm picky, so I don't really eat much anyway, yo. I don't like fucking vegetables like that, and I don't like all that, you know, luxury type of shit, yo, where you gotta have the best steak or these grilled chicken. Man, I don't really eat none of that shit. I'll eat it, yeah, but if you ask me, do I want that? I'm gonna tell you, fuck no, cause I'm not quick to go for heavy ass foods. You know, my energy is, you know, preserved, well, luxury, because it took me so long to build up this reservoir of knowledge to give y'all. That's why I protect my vessel. The more you protect your life force, y'all, the more you will protect your internal well. So you're gonna want to protect your lungs. You're not gonna want to smoke as much. You're gonna want to protect your digestive system. You're not gonna want to eat as much. You know, you're gonna want to protect your reproductive system, y'all, because you don't want your seed to emit less quality or toxins, y'all. You know, for your girl or for your wife, right? You want to make sure that your seed is the strongest, because they sense that shit, y'all, when you sweat out pheromones. But not only that, but because you want to live at your peak capacity, y'all. You know, you want to live with testosterone and masculinity, because I told y'all that is the rarest thing this world has yet to ever encounter, y'all. They are against your testosterone as a man. That's what they want, men to become women, and they want women to become like men, because women don't have the natural testosterone that we have. They have estrogen. They have different things, but yet they still have that masculine drive within them, because they may have to live that way if motherfuckers can't step up and be men around here, because they too much of bitches. But I didn't make this video to make y'all laugh, y'all. I gave y'all this video to give you truth. Your biggest edge and your biggest weapon in this war right now is your mind and the way you use that, family, because like everything around you, whether it's electronics or whether it's a device that you give entertainment to, everything has the ability to be controlled. You are the controller controlling everything around you. You must control your mind first. You know, why would God give you anything that you want, or something in general, if you can't control your biggest fucking asset right here, which is your brain? Remember this, man, family. Mind over matter. You are matter walking with it, but your mind is in control of that matter. So now that I have, you know, gave you a brief description, or let's just say a good ass thesis, let's get into the video now. So, since we're walking into the afterlife, y'all, people are gonna start viewing you based upon your presence, based upon the way you make them gravitate towards you, y'all, or the way you make them feel. So you do what money and materialistic possessions can't do, y'all. What they will do is they'll give the ego a good high. So when you give somebody a shirt off your back, when you buy your woman, you know, clothes, you might take her out to eat, or say you want to, you know, buy her something, like just to show that you love her, your admiration for her. Say you want to buy her weed, or you want to give her something. She'll feel a sense of security to you, and she'll admire you for that, because you put that thought into your day. And not only that thought came in your mind, but you acted out on it. So that means that, in other words, family, you took a time out your day to come up with something that involved her within your mind, to focus on it and create it in the real world. And she admires you for that, because you took time out of your day to praise her, to give her a value, y'all. You know, we don't praise nobody just to praise them. We do it because we see potential, we see greatness, we see light in you. But nevertheless, family, that's what it all boils down to. And that's what all these spiritual creators are telling you, that the only way that, you know, reap what you want, live the best way you can, or to enter the new life with peace, is to protect your aura, y'all. Your aura will talk for you, y'all. Don't not disbelieve or disregard this information if you have not walked this path, because I'm telling you right now, y'all, many people would rather want respect than money, y'all. If you want money over respect, that means, you know, you lack something, and that's why you need money to fill that void. But money can only help you so much, because everything that is physical, y'all, doesn't help your soul. It holds your soul down, because you're pushing that ego way above your soul. Your soul, it wants that shit, yes. But what it wants is for you to act out of awareness, for you to be alert, for you to be on standby. And that's why people fuck with you when you're aware, when you have that aura, when you have energy that guides them into the light, because they see the light on you. They see how you carry yourself, and it makes them look at themselves like, damn, how are they so confident? How are they so calm? How are they so composed? You know, I be trying to get this motherfucker to react. I be trying to do things to make him antsy, to make him mad, to make him feel like, you know, compete with me, motherfucker. And you're just like this, like, I'm not trying to. Because, family, like, you have reached a state of maturity within yourselves, y'all. You know, you have tapped into that Super Saiyan 4 energy, you know. So just think about that, y'all. If you have urges you can't control, if you have things that you are battling, look at it like Baby off of Goku. Y'all remember in GT when, you know, Baby, the imposter, the parasite, he went into his whole family. You know, the Saints were going to become a race that was wiped out if, you know, Baby knew how to play his cards right, because pretty much he did that. He took control of every Saiyan that Goku, you know, was around. He took control of his whole family and was going to use their power against Goku, because, you know, they envied the Saiyans. But I'm only going to tell you this, family. Goku was smart and he was aware. And when you have control and mastery over your urges and self, y'all, it comes down to, what do you want? Long-term greatness or temporary pleasure? Only you know what you want, y'all. But only you know what is the best answer for you at the end. But, you know, be like Goku, y'all. He didn't let the baby parasite, you know, steal his power and live within him. He didn't allow that to happen, because he took control over his power, y'all. He always had good thoughts flowing with him. He stayed light. That's how you want to be, y'all. No matter what, love yourself. You should love yourself, because you're the only being you can truly, you know, fully be at a state of comfort with, y'all. You do things that nobody else knows about you. That's why you gotta love yourself like only you can, you know. But yes, family, I say that because you want to be in control, you want to be alert, but that's the energy that we are walking into now, family. Your energy is making this shift happen, because your energy is making people see differently. Your energy affects people whether you talk to them or whether you don't, because it's not on a physical level. You know, it's hard for me to decipher this to the ones living on the physical, because you live that way currently. But once you build this energy up, the energy, since you're forcing it to stay within you, it has no other way but to go around your whole body like a bomb. It has to blow everything up that was weak inside of you to come out stronger. And since it still can't leave your body, because you're forcing yourself to stay with power, what do you think it's gonna do, family? It's gonna transcend. So that means that the energy within you is gonna go up higher within you. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna bring the physical you upwards for you to meet your spiritual self. Because that's what the energy is. The energy is spiritual, y'all. It's currency. That ain't physical. You can't touch energy. Yes, I can touch my body, but energy is something in motion, y'all. It's what gives you the ability to feel this right here, because you have the energy to move. That's energy. Protect that. But before I end this video, yes, family, that you'll be highly admiratable, if you want to say that. A lot of people will fuck with you. You know, animals, babies, women, male, they will all have this respect for you. I don't know, they might test you, but I don't really look at it like that, y'all, because I try not to give my energy to too much things if they're not helping me in my reality, y'all. Yes, I'll look at you, I'll admire you, I'll praise you, I'll smile at you, but at the end of the day, y'all, I'm not gonna worry about what the fuck you're doing, because this is my life, y'all. I'm not, you know, the side character no more. I'm the main character, because I'm focusing on becoming better. You know, you become a 0.01%, not even 1%, but a 0.01 decimal. Because the world, y'all, it can't stand change, or just can't. It's not that it can't stand change, but it doesn't believe in it, because it hasn't existed to see that happen within, y'all. They don't believe it exists, because they never felt that way about themselves, like myself and you on the other side of the camera. So before I end this video, y'all, your power is becoming righteous, living like a masculine being, or if you're a woman, stay feminine, y'all. Have all these motherfucking women out here desire you like candy, because that's your power. You have the power to read them, to read yourself, but to shine bright. to make them wish that they will never have what they truly are not working for, which is themselves. Because that's literally the law of the universe, y'all. You are what you attract. No other reason but that. But if you say to the end, man, I just want to say I appreciate you. I give y'all high praises, man, and I hope that your day is becoming better every day, y'all. Because we are one. We are the chosen few. We are what the world can't be, because the world doesn't have it within them to be like us, y'all. Yes, they want attention. Yes, they want to be chosen. But look, we don't want to be chosen, y'all. We just want to embrace what the world is missing out on, which is potential. We don't live in hindering. We live in growing. We live in abstinence or abstinence, but we live with intensity, y'all. People will fear intensity because how deep you can speak and have those words influence somebody. But that's because my soul is aware and it's alive. But yeah, family, take that into consideration when you practice this journey. When you could love money, you could love these women, you could love these cars, these houses. That's okay. I'm telling you to love your energy and yourself first, though, so you can feel like everything around you is a side quest, but it still makes you feel like it's respectable, and and it makes you feel like I've earned everything around me because I've earned the way to carry myself the right way, family. You will have people fuck with you. You will have a lot of people envy you. I can't tell that everybody will fuck with you, because that's not the case, y'all. Everybody will turn against you, y'all. What Momoshiki did to Boruto when he said that, those blue eyes will take everything away from you, son. They eventually will, because you're not who you once were. You're a totally different being, y'all. You're like an alien who just stepped off of a shuttle, and when these motherfuckers look at you, they're like who that? They're not gonna say it, but they're gonna have their eyes on you like if they a cop and you somebody who escaped. They can't figure out why they looking. What is it that they didn't look at you because they seen you, they felt you, y'all. That aura you walk with is so fucking magnetizing, y'all, that their soul is intrigued by your soul. But yeah, family, that's power. That's how you help the world. That's how you become somebody that is unshakable but yet unresistible or irresistible, because it's just a way of life, y'all. Nature runs through all of us, because nature is something that we experience not only within our reality but internally, because we are our reality. But I love y'all, Shay family, 100.